everyone, and welcome back to Jus de Rose. Since Valentine's Day is around the corner, I thought I'd share with you my top recommendations for sexy and sweet perfumes. This video has been highly requested as well, so here it is. The fragrances I have today are very long lasting and project massively as well. So ladies, if this is important for you, you're going to be served. Grab yourself some popcorn, some wine, tea, coffee, whatever it may be, and let's get straight into it. I wanted to start off this video with some vanilla fragrances because who doesn't like vanilla? But also it's a note that comes to mind when I think about sweet perfumes. So the first fragrance is Vanille de Tahiti by Paris, and I've never talked about this fragrance on my channel. In fact, I purchased this fragrance a few days ago and I am obsessed. I may be a little bit biased because it brings me back to my honeymoon in French Polynesia, where I literally had the best time of my life. It just brings up really happy memories in one of the most beautiful places on earth. But nonetheless, this is a fantastic vanilla fragrance. Vanille de Tahiti smells just like natural Tahitian vanilla. And I can tell you this because on my honeymoon, I went to visit a vanilla plantation in Taha, which is in French Polynesia, and they were sorting through the vanilla, and this fragrance literally smells just like it. Now, to note, it smells very natural and has a bit of a dirty, slightly fecal aspect, which can be off-putting to some. It smells like a sweaty vanilla bean drying in the sun. I know, I'm totally not selling it and it sounds really gross, but ladies, trust me, coming from someone who doesn't like animalic notes in fragrances, like I cannot stand it, I really enjoy it in this fragrance because on my skin, the perfume develops beautifully and it transforms into this delicate, gentle vanilla with light, powdery nuances. It's super smooth, really light and beautiful. It smells, honestly, this is one of the best smelling, natural, realistic vanillas that I've ever tried so far. It smells incredible, and in terms of performance on my skin, it lasts over 12 hours with more on the moderate to soft projection, but it is there. I can get whiffs here and there throughout the day, but it's not going to be too in your face or too strong, nor is it a sticky vanilla. It is smooth, powdery, and gentle, just a lovely vanilla scent. Now ladies, if you want to turn up the heat to the max and you're looking for a naughty, mischievous vanilla, I'd recommend you try Missravager by Frédéric Malle. This smells like in a bottle. It's the naughtiest musky ambery vanilla ever. Raw, carnal, beastly, and utterly seductive. To me, it smells intensely vanilla and musky with a powdery dry down and an ever so slight cigarette note. It's 100% unisex and it is a beast mode fragrance, so over 12 hours plus on the skin, at least on mine, and it has insane projection, like very strong and powerful projection. Incredible scent from Frédéric Malle. This is a fragrance you want to wear after hours, if you know what I mean. Next up, we have an intoxicating amber woody, slightly spicy blend, Iconic Amber Oud by Welton London. This is such a head-turning scent that will make people go, wow, what on earth are you wearing? This smells insane kind of a fragrance. The main notes are oud, tobacco, cardamom, ginger, labdanum, and ambergris. Overall, it's intensely woody with a distinct sweetness from the tobacco and perhaps some vanilla too. I feel like Rihanna would wear this fragrance because this perfume to me embodies an unapologetic, sexy, confident woman who isn't afraid to speak her mind. She's got the fire and will let the inner feline come out to play. Definitely pair this fragrance with black lace, a sexy dress, black patent leather heels, and finishing off the look with smoldering, smoky eyes. That is the kind of fragrance that you want to finish your look with, shall I say. And in terms of performance on my skin, it lasts over 12 hours with very strong projection. So I thought I'd share with you a honey-based perfume that you probably never heard of, and for the matter, probably the brand either. It is How to Kiss by Ojar. And Ojar is a brand that is based from Oman, and I discovered it a couple of months ago in Harrods whilst I was browsing the perfumery hall, as I usually do. And I just fell in love with this fragrance, and I just, had to add it to my collection as per usual. And what's particular about Ojar is that their fragrances are actually perfume oils. They do have some sprays like EDPs, but the core of their business is perfume oils, such as this one. And they have a variety of collections which all focus on different ingredients, and Halwa Kiss is part of the honey collection, so that's why it has a dominant note of honey. This perfume smells like a pistachio honey dessert. It's such a delicious, yummy, and edible fragrance that's very unique as well. Think roasted nuts covered in caramelized honey, vanilla sprinkled with cardamom. So good. Also, the bottle is really cool and enables you to apply the oil in two different ways. First, if you unscrew the cap, you have a roller ball, which I like to use for more targeted regions, for example, behind my ears. And second, if you want to apply the oil to a bigger surface, you can unscrew the neck of the bottle, which holds a glass applicator. I think it's a really neat and cool way to apply fragrance, and I just love Halwa Kiss, one of my favorites from the collection, and would highly recommend it to you ladies if you're into your sweet fragrances. Next up, we have Santorupi, a bold floral amber fragrance by Carolina Herrera. This perfume has a big dose of spices with cinnamon and black pepper, perhaps cardamom too, blended with an opulent bouquet of tuberose and sandalwood. It has a touch of fruitiness as well. Ultimately, this is a powerful, spicy white floral scent that is lightly sweet. If you like fragrances such as Rouge Malachite or Vert Malachite by Armani Privé, so those really intoxicating, creamy, spicy white florals, that kind of a DNA with like a warm amber base, there's a good chance you'll also enjoy Santorupi. Now, out of all the fragrances from today, it is not the sweetest, though I would say it does have a fruity, floral sweetness to it, which just makes it so irresistible. It is sexy, it is feminine, it is a fragrance for a queen. And in terms of performance on my skin, it lasts 10 hours plus with fantastic projection. I've got another Carolina Herrera fragrance, but this time more on the affordable end. It is Very Good Girl. Now this is the newest flanker from the range. It launched last year and is by far my favorite. To be honest, I've kind of fallen a little bit out of love with the original Good Girl and don't wear as often as I should, just because for me it is too heavy, thick, and can be a little bit nauseating at times. It's a great fragrance though, and if you like sweet, bold perfumes, definitely go for it. But personally, I prefer this new version. And the reason why I like it so much more is because it's fresher and less dense than Good Girl. It still retains the addictive and creamy almond vanilla sweetness, but it's not as heavy, and the fragrance feels brighter and fresher thanks to the addition of red currant and lychee. This pop of fruit adds a little acidic touch, which is a nice contrast to the creamier notes. And there's also some rose in this fragrance, kind of done in a similar way as to Delina Exclusif by Parfum de Marly. So I would say if you like this kind of DNA, this kind of rosy DNA that is quite sweet and intoxicating, warmed by a lot of vanilla, then there's a good chance that you'll also like Very Good Girl. And as for the performance, just like all the other fragrances in today's video, it is fantastic, lasts all day on my skin, projects strongly, and I think overall it's a fantastic date night fragrance. Even if you don't like Good Girl, I still recommend you try out Very Good Girl. You may have a little surprise, but in like a really good way. Now, of course, I had to include the notorious Baccarat Rouge 540 Eau de Parfum by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Some people love it, others hate it, and some can't even smell it. Some people say it smells like candy floss or burnt sugar, whilst others say it smells like a hospital and a dentist. I mean, could this fragrance be any more contradictory? Baccarat Rouge is like your favorite celebrity that the tabloids just can't get enough of. It's an abstract fragrance without any notes in particular that stands out. For me personally, Baccarat Rouge makes me think of sugar coating of candy apples. It's sweet, sugary-like, but not sticky or syrupy. There's always an airiness about it, which I love very much. So why are some people unable to detect this fragrance? Well, that's because there is a massive dose of ambroxan in this scent. And for the little science lesson, ambroxan is a very big molecule, and it won't necessarily fit into each and everyone's olfactive receptors up in our nostrils. So basically it's like a lock and key model. The molecule is huge, and if your receptor is a little bit smaller, then it won't fit, and therefore you're not going to be able to experience or smell ambroxan as it should be in this fragrance. It doesn't mean that you're bad at smelling fragrances, not at all. It just means that you're unable to detect the full beauty of this ingredient. Okay, so Baccarat Rouge is a super sexy fragrance, huge compliment magnet, long lasting, huge projection. I mean, it basically ticks a lot of boxes and is totally worth the price in my opinion. Even though a lot of people seem to be owning this scent these days, I do have a tip for you. It is great for layering. And I have a full layering video, which I'll link down below, with some amazing sexy combinations, too, with Baccarat Rouge, which is just intoxicating. But you can also layer it with some of these fragrances that I talked about earlier. The Welton London fragrance, you can layer this one with. You can also layer Baccarat Rouge with Very Good Girl. Oh, the two fragrances together, that combo is insane, and literally you cannot get it off your skin. So if you want to smell yummy, delicious, get Baccarat Rouge and layer it with all your other fragrances. Now, if you're looking for a boozy fragrance, I'd recommend 100% Side Effect by Initio Parfum Privé. It is a boozy cinnamon bomb of a fragrance that is so intoxicating and so strong, with a dose of rum, cinnamon, vanilla, and tobacco. It's sweet, candied almost, more in the likes of a fruity sweetness. A seriously strong, yummy scent. The tobacco and vanilla are heavenly, bring a rich warmth and creaminess, whilst the cinnamon adds the fire. Another superstar performer. It lasts over 12 hours. Huge projection as well. To be honest, I don't know what projects more, Missravager or Side Effect. It's like the battle of the beasts here. The two are very, very strong. And I'd recommend to use only a few sprays, because the fact that it is so sweet, it can be a little bit nauseating if you overspray. So just a few sprays here and there. And it's another one that mixes very well with Baccarat Rouge, but also iconic Amber Oud by Welton. If you want like some intoxicating, filling the room fragrance, this is where it's at. Now ladies, if you want to bathe in a marshmallow orange blossom syrup, Love Don't Be Shy is for you. This fragrance is an intoxicatingly sweet floral nectar that smells like as if you were crushing in between your fingers sun-warmed orange blossom petals and extracting this beautiful, concentrated, honeyed elixir. And it is complemented with a really fluffy, puffy white marshmallow notes dusted with powdered sugar. These days, there are a lot of fragrances with a similar DNA. Some that come to mind are Oriana by Parfum de Marly, Reckless by Ojar, Guimauve de Noël by Parle-moi de Parfum, Memo Sintra. I mean, the list goes on, but Love Don't Be Shy by far is the sweetest, most intoxicating, and sexiest of them all. Personally, it's not a fragrance that I'd wear. I find it to be a little bit too sticky sweet for my taste. I do prefer some other fragrances that I mentioned before. But if you like very sweet, almost toothache-inducing fragrances that aren't designer, and you're looking for something that is a little bit more elevated, that smells really beautifully feminine, then you should check out Love Don't Be Shy. Next, we have Utopia by K. Ali. This is a fantastic coconut dominant perfume. Coconut, vanilla, creamy florals. I mean, what more can you ask for? I'm definitely getting suntan lotion vibes from this fragrance, but I'm all up for it. I mean, I live in the UK, I don't get much sun, and so if there's a fragrance that can transport me virtually to the beach, I'm all up for it. Definitely. I love the way this perfume smells. Mind you, I have a lot of fragrances that have a similar DNA already in my collection, but I don't mind adding another one because I certainly will be adding this fragrance to my summer list. The one that comes to mind when I smell this perfume is Terracotta by Guerlain. I find some similarities between the two, though Utopia is younger and sweeter, like more intoxicating, I would say, than Terracotta by Guerlain, and also it lasts way longer, which is a nice bonus. On my skin, this perfume lasts around 9 hours with strong projection. This perfume definitely radiates sexy summer goddess vibes over here, though I wouldn't necessarily say it is just limited to the summertime. I mean, if you love coconut, you may as well wear this fragrance all year round. It's fantastic and a really nice discovery from K. Ali. So that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below which of these fragrances you have in your collection or you like to wear, or any other sweet perfumes. I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, spread the fragrant love.